So I've been known to be the most giving, blah, blah, blah. I'm selfish now. What you think about that? Had to keep chasing our dreams. Selfish get a bad rap.
Yeah.
Like immediately when you say selfish, is like it's instantly thought out as a bad thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I used to think being selfish actually was horrible.
Me too.
I thought that I had to put everybody first because that's what they say, give and you shall be given, and you know all the cliche things that they say. And so you need to feed everybody first. I'm the one who sat in the kitchen and cooked for 2 hours, right?
Yeah.
But I got to make everybody plate. I have to feed everybody first. I have to make decisions based on everybody before I ultimately think about myself. And I wasn't happy until I put myself first.
Yeah.
My life wasn't fulfilled. My life wasn't happy because I was always making decisions based on how other people would feel. I'll give you a really simple example. If someone was having a party and they asked me to come to the party and I accepted the invitation. Well, the day that the party come up is raining, I've worked doubles, I'm tired, whatever the circumstance may be. If I consult with myself, I really don't want to go anymore.
Yeah.
Right? But then there's that commitment of letting them down, you know, all of that. And then I would find myself getting dressed, going, and I would be miserable. You know, there would be times where I would start to enjoy myself, whatever. But ultimately, I'm freaking exhausted. I would love to just be home, you know, and I really, really, really wasn't happy until I became selfish. And I had to make a lot of selfish decisions to get to where I'm at. And I could not possibly be here if I considered everybody else.
Yeah, so in that scenario you gave, one thing that jumped out to me is, in order to put yourself first, you have to be able to say no. Ooh. You have to be comfortable with saying no. And it's hard as hell to say no to someone you love. Had you learned how to say no in that instance, right? You would have protected your sanity. You'd have protected your peace. Mm-hmm. And you'd ultimately protected you. Learn how to say no.
Yeah.
And I promise you, it gets easier every time. It gets easier every time.
I used to hate saying no.
Of course, we all do, because you feel so bad that you're
bad.
not able to produce for someone else, right? Especially if you're a producer, you're a giver.
I'm a giver.
Especially if you're a caring person, you got a nice heart, you're kind. It's tough to say no. And it's even tougher to say no to someone you love.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But if you'll be taken away from yourself to give, I suggest you don't.
Yeah.
And learn how to say no. So I like to think about my future when I had to prioritize whether or not I'm going to give a person me or I'm going to hold back and, you know, take away from myself.
Yeah.
I like to think about the future, and I like to see myself on stage, right, in front of a lot of people. Mm-hmm. And I always ask myself, would that person be there with me at that moment? Mm. The person that I have to prioritize over or against.
Yeah.
Right? Would that person be there in my mind, in my future? Right? Mm-hmm. When I start to think about the future.
Yeah.
And if that answer is no, then whatever it is this person wants to get from me, or whatever it is that they expect for me to, you know, put off for myself and, you know, prioritize them, it goes away immediately.
Yeah.
And that's the easy part. That's the easy part. That automatically tell me it's not worth putting them first over me in that instance, because you're not even going to be in my future. And also, another thing.
That gave me the chills.
Right?
Wait. Say that again.
It does.
Because they're not even going to be where? Like,
they're not even going to be in my future.
Damn.
Right? So why spend a lot of time feeling bad about saying no sometimes, or why feel bad about not giving them at the moment, right? And in not putting yourself first when you should in that moment, because that person is not even going to be in your future.
Dang.
Something to think about, though, right?
It is something to think about.
Something to think about.
But one thing when I decided to start being selfish that I really had to think about before I made the decision, yo, you going to start putting yourself first before everybody.
Yeah.
I'm talking about everybody. And that was, how often do you need people?
Yeah.
And I mean, that may seem crazy, but we're not talking about for support, for mental support, or, you know, how often do I need people to talk to. But, like, how often do I call you and say, can you cash at me some money? How often do I need you to drive me somewhere? Or do I consult with myself and say, what's the best way for me to get here? Oh, I'm going to catch a Lyft, I'm going to catch an Uber, or whatever the situation may be. How often do I ask all of these askers for favors or for anything? And it's almost slim to none. I'm so independent, you know, and I'm not going to say I don't need anyone. Of course, everybody need people. We're not in this universe alone, but I need to make sure I'm good first.
Yeah.
And it was the most bizarre moment when this hit me, right? I'm on the airplane and the lady's up there. She's giving the directions if the plane go down. And so she said, if we lose oxygen in the plane, I need for the adults to grab their mask first and put your mask on your face
before you think about
putting the mask on the children. And that blew my fucking mind. And then I thought about that as the plane was taking off. And I'm like, I have to put the mask on me first so I can have oxygen to help everybody else.
Absolutely.
And that was the day that being selfish completely changed my whole outlook on, yo, take care of yourself first. You'll be better for everybody else. You will be able to help everybody else. You'll have the energy, the strength, the love to give to everybody else. But if I'm lacking the attention that I need for the things that make me happy, I can't possibly show up for you happy. I haven't done anything for myself that make me feel good.
Yeah.
You know? So it took for me to be on the airplane to really get the concept of put yourself first. Make sure you have oxygen first.
Yeah, that was a dope analogy.
I had that completely backwards. It was help everybody and you will be blessed.
No, that don't make any sense.
Help this person, help that person, and the good will come back to you because you're a good person. You care, you share, whatever. And I found the good not really coming back. I found that if you want the good, go get the good.
Yeah.
Right? You yourself have to go get the good.
You are the producer.
Absolutely.
You produce your own happiness.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I take care. Well, I wouldn't say I take care, but a lot of people depend on me, right? Whether it be for advice, whether it be financially, or whatever, you know. A lot of people call out to me and call on me. So imagine me not taking care of myself. How could I be of any help or any assistance to all these people that depend on me for whatever reason? Right? I wouldn't be able to be any help to them. So that's why I always prioritize myself over anybody and anything that I do. Because it only makes sense to me. It only makes sense to me. In the same sense, that airplane scenario that you just gave make the most absolute sense.
Yeah.
Prioritizing oneself is the most important advice that I could ever give anyone.
Yeah. See, I'm talking about the spirit inside of you that you were born here with. Yeah. I'm talking about caring about that spirit more than anything.
Yeah.
Okay, you can be in a room full of people and you look nice and you work in the room and everybody see you and this and that. When all of that is over and you take those clothes off, you take the makeup off, you let your hair down, yo, you have to be happy with who you left with when nobody is around.
Yeah.
When your mother not around, when your kids not around. All these people that you put before yourself, you have to be happy with yourself when it's just you and you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the only way to do that and truly be fulfilled is to consult yourself first.
Yeah.
In everything. So, oh, you want to take a road trip? No.
Yeah.
I think I want to take a plane and I'll meet you there.
Yeah.
You know, oh, could you pick me up after work? No. I have some things to do. You're going to have to get yourself an Uber or call one of your boyfriends. I don't know. But I can't sacrifice my happiness for anybody. And yo, it took me 30-something years to realize that. Yeah, so that was like some deep points. I really hope that message got through. You know, I love quotes.
Come on with it. I know you got something for me.
You know I got a quote for you. If it was up to me, I would have like little quotes just all over the place, right? So this quote is, putting yourself first is not selfish. Thinking about yourself constantly is selfish. Please respect the difference. And that's by Kushand Wisdom.
Thinking about yourself constantly is selfish.
Yeah, thinking about yourself constantly. I think she's going in the direction of conceited, self-centered.
Yeah.
So she's saying, or he, I'm sorry, it might be a he, Kushand, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But they're saying that putting yourself first is what you need to do. But thinking of only yourself constantly is selfish.
Yeah, but I don't think that's a bad thing.
Thinking of only yourself first?
Yeah, who else will think of you more than you are to think of yourself?
Wait.
Who else could possibly think of yourself
more than you think of
because
yourself?
you are yourself.
Yeah.
I think the world of myself.
Yeah.
And I'll continue to think the world of myself until I'm no longer in this world.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So to me, that's not a bad thing.
Uh-huh.
It's not bad at all.
Uh-huh.
And,
well, nobody's going to think about you more than you.
right.
You know?
Right. So I think of myself.
Impossible.
I think of myself constantly, 24 hours a day.
Yeah. But I think what they said is, if all you think about is yourself, like you're never doing anything for anybody else, then that's when you're considered selfish.
I'm probably the most selfish person
Yeah.
that exists. And
Yeah.
I'm pretty content with that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty cool with being selfish.
Yeah.
It got me a long way, right? It got me where I needed to be, where I wanted to be.
Yeah.
So I'm cool with that.
Well,
but I don't want you to think that
it don't
I'm
matter.
conceited and
It don't matter what is thought, because you said what you said.
Yeah,
but I'm going to touch bases on what you said, me knowing you personally.
Mm-hmm.
And you have your selfishness to that extent,
okay.
but you
so
are
you're gonna tell
also
me about myself?
yeah. Let me get it to you.
Let's go. I need to hear
But
this.
you are also one of the most giving people that I know.
Yeah,
so I don't want you to. I had to clear that up myself, because you said, "Oh, I'm selfish. I care about people." You do.
Yeah.
That is facts.
Yeah.
But when you want to do something for someone, nobody can stop you.
Yeah.
You will go to no limits to do something for your mom, to do something for, anybody.
Yeah, so when I say I'm one of the most selfish people that you'll probably actually ever meet, you would never feel that.
Yeah.
You would never know that. These are the things that I go through in my mind with myself on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So I would never display that selfishness, because these are the things that I tell myself in my own mind.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Look out for yourself first. Don't worry about them.
Yeah.
Do you.
Yeah.
Make sure you're straight in this situation.
Yeah.
So these are the things that I tell myself, the conversations that I have with myself mentally, internally.
Yeah. Well.
So you'll never feel that.
Uh-huh.
That would never show, it would never be an outward showing of that had you say, well, I don't like this guy, something like that.
Yeah.
Because I don't react off my emotions. I don't react off my thoughts most of the time. But how I react is however I feel. And that's what you'll get out of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I just had to throw that out there, because I do know that you consult with yourself first, as you should.
Absolutely.
But I have also seen you do some amazing things for other people.
Oh.
I mean, financially, mentally.
Yeah.
I know people call you for advice. You'll stop what you're doing to help somebody. You'll talk somebody through a problem. You'll give them advice that
Again,
people
to
would
me,
pay for.
I ain't mean to cut you off, but to me, that's selfishness. I could put that in the category of being selfish. Only because that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
At that moment. So if I stop doing something that's very important to give this person advice to help them out, guess what? I wanted to do that.
Yeah.
I wanted to do that.
It's still what you want to do.
Yeah, it's always what I want to do. So I'm always self-centered in the equation. It always revolves around what I want to do.
Yeah. And I would have to agree with that for myself as well, because I too give a lot. I too do a lot. But guess what? This is what nobody never really say. It feels so fucking good for me to give.
Yeah.
So this isn't an issue of giving or not giving or only worried about yourself. Yo, when you give, that's being selfish. It really is. And that's going to seem bizarre to some people. When you give, that's being selfish, because that feeling that you get when they open up that gift, or when they be like, oh my God, thank you so much, or you unexpectedly pay somebody rent or do something to help them get out of a financial situation or whatever. Yo, that feels good to you too. So you did that for yourself in a sense as well. And I think a lot of people would never admit that, because it's like, no, it wasn't about me. I did that because I wanted to help them. But yo, you get a sensation when you help people. You get a feeling in the inside that is remarkable when you help people. Yeah, you're doing it for the person, but you in return is getting something for self. And that's the main point that I want to make over everything.
Yeah.
Make sure you're good. Make sure you're good. Even when you helping, make sure you're good.
Again, learn to say no.
It
don't hurt. It won't hurt.
It won't.
It won't hurt.
I had
It'll
to
get easier as you go.
See, even what you saying, learn to say no, is giving me that little butterfly feeling.
Because I gotta drill it in people's head, because
guess
it's so
what?
hard.
It is.
It's so hard. It's so hard. It was hard for me. I promise you, initially, the first time I ever told someone no, and I don't even remember that time, but I can assure you that it didn't feel bad to me.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I mean, no, let me rephrase that. It might have felt bad, but it wasn't like I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Because I did it.
Yeah. Well, you good with no.
I always been able to tell people no and think nothing of it.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
you real good with no.
It'd be done right then and there. It'd be done right then and there.
Because you have cracked me up, especially with the Cash App request.
Yeah, of course. Denied.
You reject them things. Denied.
No, because majority of the time, and I'll touch on that. Majority of the time, a person will send me a Cash App, and to me it doesn't make sense why you're requesting this. You might request $50. Well, what is $50 going to do for you? Nothing.
Yeah.
You'll be asking me for another $50 tomorrow or next week.
Yeah.
So I'll teach you something that can allow you to get $50, and then you could take that teaching and continue to make $50 here and $50 there and $50 there. Now you're set.
Yeah.
You're good to go.
Yeah.
But a person wouldn't want that, because they want the money right then and there in their hand. They don't want the lesson. They always want the money.
Yeah.
And to me, it don't make it.
No, they don't want the lesson.
It doesn't make sense.
They want the $50 they requested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
They don't want to learn
But I
how
don't
to
want to
make
give you $50 because it took me some thought. It took me some hustle. It took me some dedication to get that $50, right?
Yeah.
So why, again, selfishness, why should I give you my hard work and dedication for free when I can teach you how to put in some hard work and dedication, and now you'll be able to make your own $50 consistently though. It's like you're leading the horse to the well. You can't make him drink it now.
Yeah.
It's the only thing.
Yeah. That's dope.
And what I'll tell you is the reason why I'm so big on being selfish is, and I learned this in business. In business, it's always, what do I get out the deal? So in business, everyone is selfish. Everyone is for themselves. It's every man for themselves in business. You got to take care of yourself first.
Yeah.
In all instances.
Yeah.
Put yourself first.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, and this is going to be a big one.
Ooh, Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Elizabeth, he coming.
Put your earphones on. Turn the volume up a little higher on this one.
Yes.
If you don't put yourself first, you'll find yourself where you're at. Poor, broke, miserable, shocked, worse off.
Yeah.
You'll be where you're at right now. And the reason you're where you're at right now is because you never put yourself first.
Yeah.
Now think about where you're at in life and think about how many times situation arose where you didn't put yourself first. And that's the exact reason why you're where you're at right now.
Yeah.
And it's just that simple. It's just as simple as that.
Yeah.
You're where you're at right now because you never put yourself first.
Yeah. And you got to remember, you're going to share that tombstone with nobody.
Yeah, because some people can't grasp the notion of putting themselves first because they don't want to seem selfish. So they're scared of being selfish. They're scared of the word selfish. It just places so much fear inside of them to even think of that self in that light. And to me, what I would tell those people is, without being selfish, you won't move forward in life. You'll be stagnated.
I agree.
Yeah.
So you can pretend to be anybody, or you can just be you. So be you, and we are now us.
Yes, indeed.
Selfish ass.
I'll be that. That's the
Selfish
reason I'm where I'm
ass.
at in
I'm
life.
about to ask you for a cash app right now.
Hey,
Denied.
denied.
I wish you would.
Denied.
I wish you would. You better hit it. You better send it on over.
I ain't got it.
You better send it on over. That's
I'm being
what
selfish here. I gotta put myself first.
Yeah. All right. Millions of inmates are incarcerated with no mental way to escape their reality besides reading and the hopes of their release. Books for Time provide books to prisons all over the U.S. Visit naturallysunny.com to donate to Books for Time or to purchase one of Sunny's books. This ad was sponsored by Sunjal Productions, where they bring your vision to the screen.